Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome back. Today we continue with our Ortega Wild Bunch series. This is cigar number 9 in the series, and it is September's cigar. This is the Gearhead Gary Crankshaft, is what the Vitola is known as. 6x52, obviously a Bellicoso. There is Gearhead Gary in all his glory. This cigar is used as an Habano Ecuadorian wrapper. The binder and filler are unknown, so we're going to go on our taste buds, if you will. Very well made cigar. I really like this shape of this Bellicoso. Notice that it's a gradual taper. It looks really nice. These come in boxes of 20. And there are 3 more in the series, the Wild Bunch series, to review, which will be October, November, and December cigars. So we'll get to those when they are available. Right now, let's get to Gearhead Gary. All right, as I said before, I really like this Bellicoso shape. So I'm going to take off just a minimum right up here at the top, whatever I can get away with. Well, that actually might work. That's a nice draw. As you can see, I just took off just a very pointed end of the cap. Now let's toast it up here gently. There we go. There's a nice All right, at this early stage, I'm getting a little sweetness of cedar with a few citrus tones that remind me a lot of grapefruit notes. So you definitely have a lightly sweet cedar with some grapefruit notes. There's a little earthiness, and there are a little bit of oak mixed in there too. I can taste that wood flavor. The oak is there. Pepper is a little above average, probably around a 7. Let's see if we can, if it's early enough or too soon for a finish. Finish is a little on the par of a oaky or woody type cream. Quite a bit of wood notes on the finish and a little underlying cream. A little average amount of lingering pepper. So this is early. Of course, we're very early, so let's see where we go from here. Gearhead Gary starting out nice. I like the combination of the sweet cedar and the grapefruit notes. Be right back. Well, I'm about an inch in, and the grapefruit notes that we spoke about initially have now morphed over to more of a nutmeg flavor. And that nutmeg flavor is very long on the front end. It lasts quite a while. Now the initial flavor you get is your sweet cedar, and then it quickly mixes and follows with that nutmeg. The oak notes are still noticeable, and there's some underlying earthiness. The finish is more of a toasted cream now, lightly toasted aspects of sweet cream. Lingering pepper is elevated. It's much nicer now. I would call the cigar medium bodied, and other than that, that's our update for now. I like the nutmeg flavors with the cedar. That's always nice, and I've noticed that happens a lot with Nicaraguan cigars. Shortly after they start out with a citrusy type tone, they will change over to one of nutmeg, and this one has done that. Well, I'm just before the band, and the cedar notes have really dropped off a lot. You still have that nutmeg flavor, however, and combining with the nutmeg is an incredible amount of earthiness. The oak notes are very subdued, but the earthiness is not. It is right in line in amount with the nutmeg. There's just a twinge of sweetness in nutmeg, but not a lot. Nutmeg by itself is its own flavor, but you have a lot of earth to go along with it. The cigar is still what I'd call medium bodied, maybe approaching medium to full. Up to this point, it's been fairly medium. The finish is pretty much unchanged. Well, I'll take that back. It is that toasted cream, but there's a lot of oakiness to that cream. There's still a lot of those oaky notes floating around, and the lingering pepper is still pretty nice. So there we are. That's where we are, just about the band. We'll call it the midpoint. And let's see if those cedar notes come back. We got about 2 inches remaining. Some of the cedar notes would come back. A little of that sweetness is, you still have the nutmeg with it. But the big thing at this point is the earthiness has toned down, but in its place, the oak notes have really come forward. So now you have a little bit more of that cedar nutmeg combination, but a lot of oak notes right there with it. And that's a big change from the last segment of this one. Everything else, we'll call it the same. But I wanted to let you know about that. The earthiness that was so prominent in the last segment has gone away, or has become subdued, and now in its place is a huge amount of oak notes. Well, we are down to the end, so let's wrap it up. The cedar and nutmeg definitely stayed around here at the end. Had a little sweetness to it. The oak notes are still very prominent and closely follow that cedar and nutmeg. There's a touch of earthiness that's not very prominent, but it is at the base. The pepper remained around a 7 all throughout the cigar. Cigar might have topped off at medium to full bodied. The finish remained unchanged here recently. The toasted cream with some oakiness and some lingering pepper. Cigar is pretty good. Nothing really outstanding anywhere in the cigar, but it was a nice cigar. I really enjoyed the flavors, the flavor changes and what have you. Eddie is really a good cigar maker. He has these different blends for each month, and they're all a little different. But this one has really been very good. I'm scoring this a 91. I've enjoyed the cigar quite a bit, and Gearhead Gary is on shelves now, has been probably for several weeks. But look for them. All of these are very limited in production, so you have to grab them while you can. So there you have it, the Gearhead Gary from the Ortega Wild Bunch series, 91.